you came here for Dungeons and Dragons, but I just wanted to say, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. That's all I want to say. Now let's get into the video.
Dungeons and Dragons, that fun little game where you roll some dice and hope that you don't break the world. Well, little old me started a campaign, and let's just start with the world building, then we'll get into the character art. If you want me to break down the whole world, I'll break it down in a separate video, but for now, this starts with a pathway to a temple, where my character, who is the Guardian race, yes, it is a homebrew race made by the DM. The temples in this have lush, vibrant caves and different nooks and crannies where dryads or plant people and fairies like to live. There are valuable cores that without it could ruin the ecosystem. So the Guardians stand and protect these things by any means because they are a neutral race. But now you know a little bit more about the race, let's get into my character. In these tribes that the Guardians have, there are many different markings that you are adorned with. The marking that I picked for my D&D character is the marking of the Traveler. And no, I don't mean the Traveler from the Mighty Nine. I mean that they have to do soul searching before they're allowed to be a true Guardian. My character is a calm, demeanored type character, so when he gets accused of being a demon, he doesn't know what that is because he had a sheltered life inside the temple. Obviously, he gets taken in with a bunch of other people that are accused of being demons that are going to go on trial. Yes, in this world, there are trials for people being demons. Not fiends, not like tieflings or anything like that. Demons. Full-blooded things that are going to be pure evil. Him and the D&D party were all the people accused of being demons. So, what happens is they have to prove themselves that they are not, in fact, evil and inherently going to kill the people of the kingdom. And you might be asking, why don't they know about Guardians? Because Guardians kill anything that walks into their domain because they are protecting the fey creatures in the temple. Guardians don't see death the way you and me see it. Guardians see it like, oh, that thing died, it'll be reborn. Guardians are always rebirthed into Guardians, so they don't understand this complex thought of, oh, something died and it might never come back. This leads a rift between two of the party members and, of course, Thresher, my character. Guardians come in many shapes and sizes. There are smaller Guardians and there are bigger Guardians, but my Thresher is 6'7". He is more satyrish, but he has a deer skull because they're all adorned with skulls. It's embedded into their head when they are born. Yes, it might seem a little weird that the Guardians do this, but they do it because a head adornment and having a skull on their head from their last life brings them closer to who they might be and who they want to be. The class I chose for my D&D character Thresher was the Ranger class, mainly because this campaign is so vastly wide and there will be a lot of terrain that we have to track, and because the DM always does stress points if you do not know how to navigate, which makes it 10 times worse when you get disadvantage on an attack roll. So I decided to be the big girl, pull up my pants, and make a ranger, which I have no problem. That means I have a little animal that I get to put with my character, but that will be in a different video. Thresher, being someone who sees the world differently, obviously doesn't fit in, and being the tallest of the party and not caring about life and death is kind of a big thing because he puts himself in oddly specific things that make it funny to the party, like, oh, you could kill yourself, and he's like, I don't fear death. You could drown. I don't fear death. The only thing is, it's a big disgrace to lose the skull that's been embedded into your head in Guardian culture, so that's the only thing he is fearing, and the only thing that's pushing him to actually survive this. As the campaign goes on and we do task after task, they realize there is a corruption aspect to this campaign. Oh, how do we love a corruption aspect that, of course, takes hold of my character because I failed. I got a nat 1 when the first creature attacked and bit my character. The Cleric, which is an Owlin folk, which if you want me to draw that and explain that character, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll do another video. The Cleric catches this because Guardians are meant to protect something at all times. Now he has embedded himself into a party, so he starts protecting the party. Everyone else becomes a threat to the party, and his bloodlust starts to rise because of the corruption panning on his brain. The way the corruption works in this D&D campaign is that it won't fully corrupt you as long as your body can fight it off. I had to make so many Constitution saving rolls in the night for my long rests. If I didn't make a good one, I didn't sleep, I didn't get my health back, none of my spells were gotten back, and I got a corruption point. If I got more than 20 corruption points by the end of the campaign, my character would become the DM's character to fight against the party. Obviously, I was slipped a note that told me this, so when I got to my half threshold, I started to get very worried, and that made the character also very worried, because then he had to tell someone, and he told the Owlin Cleric. There was a lot going on between him and the Owlin Cleric, because the Owlin Cleric trusted him the most, because there is a feat that the Guardians have called I Am Your Armor, and he will step in front of you if you are below a certain threshold and you're in short range. So I did that a lot with the Owlin because we need a cleric to heal us. But another reason is because there was a little bit of romantic tension between them because they're from two different worlds, and it's very spicy when you have that stuff, and I'm a big contender for Yuri and Yaoi, so this broke the little Owlin's heart to where there was a dialogue line that I had to write down because it was so good. You expect me to just stand around while you're dying, basically. You're corrupting from the inside. Your heart, your mind is turning into something different, and you expect me not to find a cure for you? You expect me to sit there and just wait? Well, I can't just do that to somebody I love. I can't do that. I
don't fear death. All I fear is that it'll hurt you. But all that will happen is I'll get corrupted, I'll die, and you take back my skull.
No! I will not let you die! I cannot just let you die, wither away, and just become nothing to this world. You serve a greater purpose like us all, and I've told you this! Why don't you believe me?
Please don't make this harder than it is. I am dying.
Obviously, I'm evil, and doomed Yaoi is one of my favorite tropes, so we had to do a little bit of it. I won't tell you if he got the cure or not, because if I do make a second video, it'll probably be about the whole plot of the campaign. So if you do want that video, like and subscribe, and obviously comment that you want that in the next video. And before you ask, yes, Guardians do wear clothes. They wear a robe, basically with a belt, and that's all they wear. That's all they're allowed to wear due to the fact that they have to be ready to defend at any singular moment, and they don't usually use weapons because they are a brawler in a certain sense. Mine is different because as he gets corrupted, he doesn't want things to touch him as much, and being close combat, a lot of things can touch you. So he does get a quarterstaff, and he does pick up a few daggers from other party members that he has used to defeat some creatures, but we'll get into that if I do make a whole story about the campaign. Along the way, there was a lot of different plot points for different characters, but another big plot point for my character is that there were hunters trying to hunt exotic races, which is illegal, obviously, because they're people, but also they try to either enslave them or hunt them and mount their heads, which is something that they were trying to do to my character, and another further reason why he started to realize that death is something not to be feared, but to be avoided. Obviously, this video comes out way after we started this campaign, and kind of in a lull when we had to take a break from it for the holidays. But we don't know where this is going to end. We don't know where my character arc is going to be, and obviously all we know is that my character is starting to come to terms with death might not be the best thing for them, and that they're starting to care for a lot of people in their party and see them as something to protect and cultivate. Will this have lasting effects on Thresher's mental health? Probably. Will he be able to go back to his tribe? We don't know. Stay tuned for more, obviously, but more on the character deep dive into how I made it is right here. So when I went into this, I wanted something different, and since the DM made Guardians as a race that would fight against us in the previous campaigns, I decided to make a Guardian that was friendly to the party, that was part of the party, and it kind of was the best decision I ever made. I've had so much fun, and I played Thresher, and I was just like, I love being this autistically coded neurodivergent character that is just so inept to the world that it is so funny in some points, but also cute and also very, oh my gosh, why don't you know this? Compared to the party, Thresher is old, but compared to his species, he's only 100, and this species lives to be 1,000 to 2,000 years old. This is part of the speed paint where I start writing things that are a little, oh, I see. So there was a little part in the campaign where one of the hunters was like, you are prey. And since Thresher sees himself as a hunter, that was a big no-no. Needless to say, something bad happened to that guy. I won't get into it unless you actually want me to make a campaign-related video. Another big thing is every time his mouth opened, it would make the most disgusting crack noise. But obviously, you tell me what you think. Do you like the artwork? Do you like the idea of Thresher? Would you play a D&D campaign like this? And do you want to know the full D&D campaign? Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.